get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. 2-1 loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Hunter Henry brings it shy of the 30. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the
And he will go down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. They begin the drive on the ground with Cobb. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gone! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Gone!
He'll look to throw. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Ford. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. 30, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now it's Duke Johnson here on the return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now a play fake here on first down. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Minka Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now back to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first, as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A handoff to Penny, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll drop to throw. And it's complete. Henry. The Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Looking to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Man open left side is Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll look to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and sneak it here. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. And Forbath will put this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mahomes now on 1st down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles Harris in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This is fielded at the goal line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down. Set! 3-19! 3-19!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, it's Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a carry for Khan. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They stay on the ground with Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Charles Harris in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Throwing now is Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So now here come the Dolphins. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 48. It's a big play there for Miami. 43 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Leopard! Leopard! Here we go now. Blue landing!
They're going to look to throw. It's caught. Stills right side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a 1st down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Action now, Barney! Barney!
Back now in Miami. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And with the play clock counting down towards 0, Todd Bowles will take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Here we go. Here we go. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They keep it on the ground. Cobb again. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell them to take care of the ball, and try to move forward.
And that is incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure, all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that doesn't matter.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it, and it's second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on it. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A good pickup there, a 22. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Cobb. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Ace!
Here's Cobb. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On third down, that's Cobb. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down Broadway. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game. Let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Mahomes to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Back to throw. Mahomes. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Mahomes. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and now it's third down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. To throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts him in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. Well, with these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. On the ground, this is Johnson. And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. They'll look to throw. Escaping. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. A little careless with the football. And he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did. And when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. What can Mahomes do now with his overtime drive? Room to run inside the 40. On the left side, Gallup's got it. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Falcon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Cowboys on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. On the right hash. Officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And that changes everything here in OT. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we had 2 ties last season in 2016, and now we've got another here.
They're part of the game, and I can sound philosophical here and say, well, what can you do? But neither team happy, right? No one wants to walk away from here with a tie. But I guess it's better than walking away with a loss, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the bright side for both teams, but nobody walking away a victor. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From South Florida, good night, everybody.